us together. Color my world with hope of loving you.
Good evening. My name is Valerie Pansiera, and on behalf of the Holladay family, I welcome each and every one of you. I extend my personal sympathy to you, his beloved wife, his forever girlfriend, the love of his life, and I extend my sympathy to his sons, his beautiful sons, and in your mother's words, he loved, but I say loves you more than life itself. As we begin today, this evening, to remember, to celebrate, and to believe that those we love live on in our hearts and in our minds, we are also reminded that friends become chosen family. And in that circle of life, with no beginning and no end, there is love that lives on in our hearts and in our minds. We have come together many times in his life and celebrated the good times. He's probably already arrived and having some Jack and Coke right about now for us. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, absolutely. Okay, and he is up there, and you know what? He is with us and very, very proud to have received and continue to be the carpenter of the best and the most and the forever. He is an amazing, gifted man, and he is your husband, your father, and your friend. I believe that if he could speak to us today, he would say, my dear family, my dear friends, when I die, please, please do not cry. I may no longer be here, but I did not die. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints of snow. I am sunlight on ripened grain. I am the soft, gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. When I die, please, please, promise me you will not cry. I may no longer be here, but I did not die. That is a promise that only a man, a father, a husband, a friend, a good man, a gentleman with integrity, hard work, commitment, and love and life personified can make. He lives on in the hearts and in the minds of those that love him, because love never dies. Now, we're human. I'd like to admit that I am. Is there anyone here that can admit to being human? Would you mind raising your hand? I see that. Okay, thank you. I appreciate. Thank you. It's hard to admit that. And the reason I ask that is because no matter who we are or how strong we're being, for those that we love, our loved ones, especially a man as amazing as he is in our hearts and in our minds, at 70, even if he lived to be 170, being human, we would want one more day. Because there's never enough of this, right? It was his way or the highway, am I right? And there's the door, and don't let it hit you on the way out. Am I allowed to say those things?
Sure.
Yes or no? I did know that. He's here with us, and he's kind of laughing at me a little bit, because it's good. It's all good. But he's proud. He's riding his motorcycle in heaven, for sure, and everyone is clearing the way, because he did it his way. And that will not stop. Let us pray. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still water. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. To everything, there is a season. And Eddie lived his life that way. He celebrated. He doubled joy. His laugh was contagious. His patriotism, his love for being human and American was definitely contagious. He lived his life to the fullest. And to everything, there is a season. A time for every purpose and reason under the sun. A time to be born, and yes, in our humanness, a time to die. He knew that too, and he did it his way. A time to plant, a time to weep, and a time to laugh and to celebrate. A time to heal, a time to mourn, and a time to dance and celebrate and hug again. Aren't you just wanting to hug and be hugged? A time to embrace, and a time, because of now, to refrain just temporarily from embracing. A time to keep silent, a time to speak, a time to pray, and a time to love. A time for war, and a time for peace. We come together this evening to pray. Lord, make each of us an instrument of your peace, and allow us to follow the example that he, your beautiful husband, your dad, our friend Eddie, learned and taught us. Allow us to remember, where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, allow us to remind each other of joy, his memory. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. This prayer is the peace prayer of St. Francis. He lived that life. Yeah, he was rough around the edges, but he was a peaceful, gentle man. To be loved as to love with all of our hearts, for it is in giving that we receive, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. This short verse is from Timothy. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. He walked faith in loving each of you and each of us, in calling you family, and in being an amazing family man. The love of a dad is second only to God's love. And who taught us that? But our mothers. And our mothers are always right. So when you said that he loved his boys, your sons, more than life itself, I read some of your thoughts. Dad, you will be so very much missed, deeply missed. There are no words or any way to express how much you were loved by so many, and you touched so many lives in your very special way. To many, you were a legend, a hero, a craftsman, a friend, a colleague, but best of all, a great husband and a great father. You gave us so much, so many irreplaceable moments and life lessons that we are so grateful for. You, dear father, dear dad, lived your life as your sermon, and we watched. The pride you had in your work and family matched your integrity and character, and was really the envy of all. No matter what, you always ensured that family came first. And that's so true. Your dad was the kind of dad that would walk on the same side of the street with you when everyone else was walking on the other side. And that is a gift. That comes from a place where only love and respect can dwell. You taught us that family came first, and you were always willing to give a helping hand or Miller High Life for a job well done. I like that. I really like that. And don't think I will ever forget that. That is excellent. It's my favorite part. He may be passing a couple around in heaven. Maybe. Okay, job well done. Thank you. We will pass all your good works and advice on. We will heal our heartaches. We will know that you are now in heaven, catching up with family and friends and watching over us. You are another angel to watch over us. You are pain-free, endless Jack Daniels and Miller with countless miles of open road. I can almost hear the motor. I can almost hear it. We love you so very much, and we'll see you later. And I love that because he goes ahead to prepare a place, and we will see him again. And people who believe, as we all do, we walk in faith, we know that those that live in our hearts and minds do live on, and we will see them again. Who was Edd Holladay? Debbie, someone might ask, Debbie. He was always and will always be a father and husband, first and foremost, and a husband of 45 years. Am I right? You met when you were 13? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That is so great. We have learned so much from you. He, our Edd Holladay, was someone that you fell head over heels in love with since you were 13 years old, and he was 16, 3 years difference. He was the man I married 45 years ago, and he was the father and loved his 2 sons with all of his heart, more than anything, more than life itself. He was a silent strength for all in our family. He was someone who was honest, hardworking, loyal with integrity, and work ethic above everyone else. He was a friend, a colleague who never gave up. He was grumpy, but had so many people who looked past that and loved him. I'm fine with that. Show me what you've got, right? Be who you are, and like I said, there's the door. But it's all okay. I said, I hope you don't mind. I think that he would love that we're laughing and smiling. He taught us some great things. He looked past all of our shortcomings. He would do anything for anyone who needed something or anything. He was the father who put his family's needs first and foremost. He was dedicated to the Carpenters Union with pride and hard work. 50 years, right? 50 years. Oh my gosh, that's a lifetime. 50 years. And so many medals, we're right there. So beautiful. Please enjoy looking at those medals. I'm humbled by them. He was a Harley man, for sure. Okay? He loved Miller High Life. We got it. Jack Daniels with Pepsi. Underline. Do you see the Pepsi can? Not to be mistaken by Coke. Pepsi. Jack Daniels and Pepsi. And he's having one right now. You were loyal to Dodge trucks. Loyal to Dodge trucks and loved NASCAR. What's not to love? He was Debbie's hero, without a doubt. Job well done. We are blessed to have had him in our life. And he is still here in our hearts. Is there anyone now? I know that there are a few friends here that have crossed quite a few miles to come and join us. And Debbie has asked if you would like to come up and share a story, make us laugh, make us cry. Okay.
Does anybody want to speak?
I knew he would. I almost put my...
Well, as we're all here to remember Edd Holladay. I met him in '92 when I moved next to their house in Cooper City. Grumpy as could be, but he loved you, and he gave it all. He gave you everything he had. He didn't do anything half-assed. It wasn't in Eddie's DNA. All I can say is he's a hell of a guy. That's why we're all here. We all know that. And man, just have a drink tonight. Remember Ed, and ride on, brother. Keep riding.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Well, hello. This is a privilege for myself. My name is James Banks. Eddie got me by 1 year now. I've been in the UBC, the Carpenters, for 49 years. I'm from North Florida. Met Eddie in 2001 through a mutual friend. I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I live in North Florida. This guy here, Eddie and I got to be like father and son. He helped me in my career. He said, you know something, boy? You got potential. You stick with me. I'll make something out of you. And I did. And just let you guys know, I run the Carpenters Local for the state of Florida now. The entire state. And it's because of friends like Eddie that helped me when I was younger, hard-headed, didn't want to listen to nobody. And now I've been fortunate enough. I still live in North Florida, live right there on the St. Johns River. And Eddie did a lot of mud bogging, and he mud bogged not far from my home there in a little place called Benell. We talked, matter of fact, we talked 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. He was coming to the local union meeting, nominations and elections, next week. He said, look here, can we get in that little Cuban restaurant down there? I said, sure. I said, I think they, if nothing else, we'll get takeout and take it back to the hall. I said, but I believe they have limited capacity with seating. And I said, sure. Right there off Oakland Park. That was his favorite place. He said, well, I want you to take me to lunch. I said, that gives me a good excuse to eat too, Eddie. And he said, I'm going to be there to keep the old man straight, which the old man is Frank D'Angelo, my area manager here in South Florida. He said, I got to be down there to help Frank. He'll mess up, but I'll be right there to help him. And he says, it wouldn't hurt you to come in there too and learn a little bit. And so Eddie and I had a heck of a relationship, and the most respect that there can be for the man. And he was a craftsman above all. I come up under some good craftsmen in North Florida, but Eddie was top shelf, superior. And he was a union man through and through, and that's what he's seen in me, even though I was green a lot in a lot of things. But like I said, through his guidance, mentoring, Eddie, and there's more people as well, but Eddie's just a close personal friend, and I give him all the credit. But like I said, I run the state of Florida. I'm EST for the state of Florida now for the UBC. And so Eddie was right on, when Eddie told me that he was going to make something out of me, he did. And I'll always be indebted to him. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Frank D'Angelo. I met Ed, never called him Eddie, called him Ed, 2001, 2002. I was hired as an organizer and got thrown in the truck with him a couple times. And he was asking all kinds of, I was young, asking all kinds of questions. And he pulled over, I forgot where, but we're on the highway, I forgot where. But anyway, he goes, "Are you a carpenter?" I go, "Why are you asking that question for? You sound like you're an apprentice." I said, "I'm a pile driver." And he goes, and he never let it go that I was a pile driver as an organizer for the Carpenters. And up until 2 weeks ago, he still did that. It was amazing. It was interesting to see. He'd come to the union meetings. Of course, later in life, not all of them, but every time he'd show up, I'd see his truck, the Dodge pull up, and I just do this on purpose. I'd just roll up there, I'd walk outside, he's getting out, and I go, "You got a beer?" "Not for you." And then he'd pull out a Miller for me. So, and after the meeting, we'd either lean on my truck or his truck, and we'd debate. And it was enjoyable debating with him. Of course, I'm a little younger. I had my own ideas on how to move the brotherhood, and he had his own ideas, but it was fun to debate him because we both had the same goal. That's all.
Thank you.
Perfect.
How y'all doing? My name is Dustin Adams. I met the Holladays about 7 years ago. I met through Keith. We ended up working together. I wasn't in Florida for very long, but it didn't take very long for the Holladays to take me under as one of their own. The whole family's just been a huge influence to me. Ed, you know, yeah, he was rough around the edges, but I can relate because so am I. But if you get to know me, we're both give you the shirt off our back, and that's what I liked about Ed. From being a good man to being a good father, for reasons I had to leave the state for family reasons, and that he was a big supporter of that. I came here today just to honor him because, you know, when I was in Florida going to motorcycle school, I didn't have any family, and once they learned that, they took me right in and made sure I never went without. They ever had get-togethers, they had me there. So I felt the least I could do was take some time out of my life and come down here and pay my respects, because they didn't ever leave me out of anything. So I'm not very good at these things, but the least I could do is just say that he was a great man. He was a huge influence to me, and he still is. So thank y'all for coming, and God bless you.
My name is Marty Beliveau. I was also in the Union. Hi, Frank. Didn't recognize you. Been a while. We all know respect isn't given, it's earned. And the first time I ever heard Ed open his mouth, he earned my respect. The man had stones as big as this podium. You know, if there was a hard question to ask in those meetings, Ed stood up and asked it. And that's what impressed me about him the most. He didn't care what pleased anybody, he cared what was right. And later in our careers, I needed some help out at the airport. I was a millwright, by the way, kind of a glorified carpenter. But I needed some help down at the airport. And the business agent was going down the names, and he got to Ed's. I'll take him. And he came out there, and I was so used to him being a business agent, it was a little odd for me, being a general foreman, to be giving this guy directions. It felt weird to me, you know. But he knew square, center, plumb, and level. And I knew, as soon as I put him on the job, showed him the print, when I came back later that day, that's what I would have. And I loved him dearly. And Deb, he wasn't just your hero, he was everybody's hero.
So if Ed was here today, one thing you could be guaranteed if some ZZ Top was playing, you would hear, "Turn it up and give me a shot, bitch." That's pretty much what I heard all the time. Brownie, what the hell you doing, Brownie? Get your ass out of there. What are you doing, son? He was my man. It's an honor for me to have Edd Holladay as my South Florida Union Carpenter business agent. In serving that role, Ed became my teacher of unionism and pride that quickly turned into a wonderful, lifelong friendship, with him taking on the higher role as one of my greatest mentors. He even gave me my nickname Brownie over 30 years ago. I watched Ed be an awesome husband and father to his family, and I know they're proud of him for that. When I hear ZZ Top on the radio or a Harley Davidson go by, Doc, you're in my prayers and my thoughts and my dreams, and you'll be with me always. I love the family. We love you, Doc. Get on with it. Get drinking, bitch.
I was about to offer you coffee and cookies in the butterfly cafe. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to share a thought? Wow, amazing. What a tapestry. we do weave a tapestry in our lives. That sounds a little, but the front of that beautiful tapestry is exactly what each of you just spoke of. That beautiful tapestry, hardcore, colorful, bright, saying what's on your mind, listening to that great music and riding those Harley Davidsons. On the reverse side of that tapestry are days that are more difficult, because everyone is human and has those days. Sometimes the colors aren't so bright and the stitches are missed on the reverse side of that tapestry. But what's on that side of the tapestry, the reverse side, that only those of us who know and love him know, is that the knots on that side, which are friends and family, the knots hold the front side together. And that was his character. That's exactly who he is, and he will always be, because he will continue to hold this tapestry of life and love together in the tapestry that only Eddie could weave in the way that he did. So we are part of that tapestry, and how humbled we are to be part of that. That man is a success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much. He's listened to rock and roll and ridden a great Harley Davidson. He's gained the respect of intelligent men. He's done amazing carpentry work and is part of a wonderful union. He has earned the love of his children, his wife, his friends. He's accomplished his task. He's left the world a bit better than he found it. Perhaps an improved situation, a soul rescued or saved. He never lacked appreciation of America, of Earth's beauty, of his family, or of his friends. He never failed to express it with his words and with his actions. He looked for the very best in others. He told it his way or the highway, and he gave the very, very best he had. Edd Holladay is truly an admirable man. If a man is honest with others and with himself, if he receives gratefully and gives quietly, okay, not that quietly, but quietly, humbly, I think is a better word. If he is gentle enough to feel and strong enough to show his feelings, if he is slow to see the faults of others, but quick to discover their goodness, if he is cheerful in difficult times and modest and humble, and I heard that tonight, in success, if he does his very best to be true to his beliefs, then he, Edd Holladay, is truly an admirable man. In closing this evening, I have a dedication that I would like to give to Eddie. And it starts with a thought about gratitude. And gratitude in having a beautiful family, in living life to the fullest, in being true to what we believe. Gratitude, please and thank you, seeing Earth's beauty. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life, even in difficult times. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. This is Edd Holladay. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. There is a poem called The Dash, and I'd like to dedicate it this evening to our husband, our father, our friend, our co-worker. In loving memory of Edd Holladay, August 27, 1949, dash May 30th, 2020. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on Eddie's tombstone from the beginning, 1949, dash to the end, 2020. He noted that first came the date of his birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But what he said that mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that Eddie spent alive on earth. And now, only those of us who know and love him know exactly what that little line is really worth. For it matters not how much we own. The cars, the bike, well, maybe, okay. The cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and how we love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things that even we would like to change? We never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. He's talking to us. If we could just slow down enough to consider what is true and real, and always try to understand the way other people really feel. Be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special little dash might only last a little while. So when our eulogy is being read with our life's actions to rehash, will you and I be as proud of our husband, father, friend, of Edd Holladay? Will we be as proud as he is on how we spent our dash? God bless each of you, and God bless America. That dash deserves a standing ovation and a round of applause.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
them as soon as we're done with this next 5 minutes, make sure they are open. But tomorrow, for anybody that wants to join, same time, 5 to 8, we're gonna go there and have a beer for them. And, yeah, just reminisce. Thank you all for coming. We also have a bottle of Sinatra for anybody that would like to have a toast for them tonight. You're more than welcome to have one. Help yourself. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. I know, that all of you made the effort with everything going on with COVID and everything else in the news. And this really shows that Eddie really touched a lot of lives. And I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Even though I can't recognize everybody with the mask on, just come up to me and tell me who you are. But, for my sons and everything, you've all been great friends to me through Eddie. And I appreciate everything. So they're having a jack, so you're welcome to have a jack. Thank you again for coming.
I know my cookies and coffee again, don't you? I love you, thank you. And there is a copy of, I personalized the dash, there it is, right there. When you leave, so you'll get a personalized copy. This is his dash. And
It was good to him.
job well done, right?
Well done.
God bless each of you and God bless America. He's watching us. So I bid each of you joy for the journey, a great ride and a great taste of Jack. Be well. God bless you.
Oh, yeah.